So hello friends, in the last lecture we talked about a lot of things to begin with. In this lecture we'll continue and we'll deal with the marsupials, especially what are these, and we'll see about some Indian geography as well. So marsupials, we'll finish this very quickly. So unlike placental mammals that give birth to a fully developed young, marsupial gives birth to relatively underdeveloped offspring. After a short gestation period, earlier question has also come about this gestation period. The question came around elephants. It was asked that what is the head of the group called, is it a female, and what is their gestation period. Okay, so right, we are talking about marsupials such as kangaroo. Let's take for example a very well known example. So the kangaroo, after a gestation period of few months, it gives birth to a baby the normal way. Then it takes it into a bodily attached pouch. The child or young one is known as joy. So the pouch provides a protective environment for the growing young and allows for easy access to milk. The mammary glands are located inside the pouch. Pouched mammals, so it's a distinguished feature of marsupials. The pouch is located on mother's abdomen and opens towards the rear. It varies in size, shape and complexity among different marsupial species. So some of them have pouch, some of them has no pouch. Marsupials are found primarily in Australia, New Guinea and a nearby island. However, some species have inhabited parts of the Americas. The most well-known marsupial, the kangaroo, is native to Australia and a symbol of the country. So there are many diversities of these. Some examples are wallabies. They look like kangaroos, smaller ones. Kangaroos, koalas, possums, wombats, and Tasmanian devils. All right. And they start to develop around 160 million years ago. Fossil records suggest that marsupials were one more widespread and diverse, with some lineage reaching as far as North America. Over time, they became dominant in Australia and South America. Here are some examples of some marsupials you may not have and certainly must not have seen any of them in India. Alright, so this is kangaroo, very well known feature of Australia. Any cricket player would associate Australia with kangaroos very simply and easily. Alright, this is wallaby, a smaller one. So let us see, why are marsupials not found in India? This becomes our very basic question. So one thing is geographical isolation. So India has been geographically isolated from the regions where marsupial originated and diversified. We'll talk later about the general sense of this. Marsupials evolved predominantly in Australia, which has been isolated from other land masses because of the continental drift, basically. It's a concept from geography optional, we'll see. And in simple also, prelims, it's also covered. So evolutionary history. So marsupial and placental mammals, which we talked about, eutherians, diverged from a common ancestor around 160 million years ago. Placental mammals, which include most mammals found in India and other parts of the world, evolved and diversified in different regions. The evolutionary history and ecological niches of marsupial and placental mammals took different paths. Okay. There are other various different regions as well, competing mammalian groups. So India already had various different mammals and they were in competition, natural competition. Then there is historical biogeography. So India was once part of the supercontinent Gondwana land, which included Australia and Antarctica. However, India's subsequent collision with Asia's millions of years ago resulted in the formation of the Himalayan plate, which separated it from marsupial-rich region of Australia. There is also an ecological composition. So the presence of diverse placental mammals in India, which occupy various ecological niches, may have limited the ecological opportunities for marsupials. So it's not that they never came. They could have come from Australia or might have been present in India at a certain point of time, but they could not survive, and now there is no stable population of them in India. Okay. So again, a related question comes that which animal or what animals are not found in India? So marsupials, first of all, they are not found in India. This solves our first statement. So such as kangaroos, koalas and wombats are not native to India. Marsupials are primarily found in Australia, New Guinea and nearby regions. Okay, one more thing we are hearing or seeing again and again is native. So you must be knowing about the cheetah reintroduction product. So India is getting cheetahs from Africa right now, South Africa also, in the Kuno, Madhya Pradesh. So they are being reintroduced. Earlier there might have been a native population in India. By 1940s they all disappeared. due to hunting. But now they are being reintroduced. All right. So native primates. So India does not have native non-human primates such as apes, chimpanzees, and gorillas. Many chimpanzees you will see in the zoo. Alright, but they are not found natively in India. Please do not confuse. This is a very important question that can come in UPSC in some year. I cannot guarantee that it will come next year in 2024, but it may come that do India have a native population of chimpanzees? Other thing is native big cats. So India is known for the population of tigers, but it does not have native population of other big species such as lions, leopards, and cheetahs. Leopard, you can see they are naturally found in India. But cheetahs are being reintroduced. Lions, for example, are found in Africa and small population exist in Gir forest of Gujarat, which is an introduced population. Alright. Other things are native new world monkeys. So there are many new world monkeys such as spider monkeys, howler monkeys, capuchins. They are not found in India. Native tapirs. So tapirs are large herbivorous mammals with a distinct trunk-like snout. So their snout is like this on an angle. Alright. So they are also not found in India. They are found in Central and South America as well as Southeast Asia. They are found in Malaysia also, but not in India. So remember this name, tapir. Alright, this can also come as a question. Then platypus and ichthenia. So they are not also found in they are found in Australia and New Guinea, not in India. So these are some things which are not found in India. Please remember apes, mostly apes except for humans. Then big cats, platypus, etc., and tapirs. They are not found in India. Okay, so the question comes here that why are some animals not found in India geographically? So let's first see which animals are found in India. There are, let's say, black bear, leopard, lion, eagle. There are many different animals which are found in India. Many of them are common such as peacock, tiger, leopard, ghadial, wolf, snow leopard. Very important, snow leopard. Alright, wild water buffalo, Indian leopard, bharal, grey langurs, gaur, Indian gaur. It's found in Karnataka region. Alright. So let's see what when we talk about these things. Just a second. Okay, so about 120 million years ago, the supercontinent of the Gondwana broke into a jigsaw puzzle of continents and island into the southern hemisphere. One of those was a giant island forming what we now call the India. The leading theory that has been after the tectonic forces caused India to crash into Asia between 55 and 35 million years ago. The ancestor of these mammals walked in from Africa, Southeast Asia and Northern Asia. There is no fossil evidence of ancestors of any of the large mammals we now associate with India, such as elephant, tigers, lions and primates. These animals are not native to India, even elephants. Okay. So let's see this geographically, this concept geographically. It's very important because this can also come as a statement that fossils are found or not. Where do these animals come from? Where did they come from? Alright. So earlier there was Pangaea and it divided into two parts, Laurasia and Gondwana later on. And various India actually came like here and strike in the Asian plate here. Now this is the current status and they still continue to drift apart from each other. Even the Africa, it's supposed that it will break into two parts from here, from the Rift Valley, African Rift Valley. I hope you still remember the geographical portions of Africa which we already covered in the lecture. So these all lectures, this all knowledge will be very helpful for you next year. For whoever have failed prelims this time, of course you will be able to crack this next time. Okay, so when the Pangaea divided into Laurasia and Gondwana, we can see the continents here. This is Africa. This was Tethys Sea, and because of this also this has gone into the Sahara region. This has become here India, the Thar Desert. The Sahel region, the Central Asian region, the Congo Valley, the Congo Basin here, the Rift Valley, sorry, and the Southern Africas. Here was Antarctica, here was India, and this is Australia. So they have two different pathways. Australia went here, and India went here. All right, this was Panthalas Ocean. So this is a part of basic geography that we all read when we read for prelims. This was Laurasia. So there are two varied regions in the world. All right, the Indian animals, the animals in India, and the population, humans also. So they could have come from here. And only for a brief period of time they would have maintained any contact with India, whether it is Africa or Australia. All right. Then India separated and developed into its own populations, both humans and animals. The next course of animals would have come from where? Asia only. You don't see tigers in Africa, correct? So when India struck this plate here, many animals came from here and here, especially the northern animals, the animals that are being found in the northern part of India. All right. You can see the same thing here, the India's pathway. So India joined from here and Himalayan plate was formed here in this portion. The Australia went this side. All right. So that's why there is a geographical regions for certain animals to be found in India and for certain animals to be not found in India. Of course, the animals that were in North America are not found in India. All right. Okay. We can also see some fossil evidences. Just a second. So fossil evidences are the main evidences which which was found in India and not. So we can just see the common overlapping areas. So here is the overlapping area, Antarctica, India and Africa. Then there is overlapping areas about some other fossils such as, let's say, some plants, gymnosperm, etc. Okay. Let's move further and quickly see the movement of India or the Indian plate. So the Indian plate came to here. Sri Lanka was left behind. Here it's Sri Lanka is. All right. So this was stricken here. This was struck here. And the Himalayas were formed. One most important thing is to see that Indian plate went downside, not upside. Okay, and this was the Eurasian plate. This is a Tibetan plateau which is located at more elevation than India overall, and it plays a big factor into monsoon as well. So after the formation of these youngest fold mountains, Himalayas, some animals might have come to this side, like snow leopard. Some animals might have come from the Middle Eastern side. All right, but the basic and some population might have come from the Asian side. All right, but the most of the Indian population of the animals which we can see in the central and peninsular India might have come from Africa and Australia. Some of this survived, but marsupials could not. And they are mostly found in Australia. They are native to there and New Guinea, but not in India. So this is the knowledge that we needed for this question. Okay, one more thing, that the tiger is estimated to have been present in India since the late Pleistocene, but only about 12,000 to 16,500 years ago. Only about 12,000 years ago, tigers came into India. From where? They are found in 20 states of India today, but they came into India from the Asian sides. Alright, that is why you can see tiger population even in Russia, but not anywhere in the Middle East or in the Africas. Alright. So let's see what is our final learning from this question. Final learning that UPSC has this year asked question about both squirrels as well as marsupials. So we already saw they are from the rodents, warm-blooded mammals. These are also from the warm-blooded mammals, but with a special differentiation in the developmental stages. So UPSC has been asking question about this, giving 2 out of 100 questions from this. Then it's devoting time for wildlife and basic biology at least. So you must know about all these things. My take on this, the personal take on this, is that whenever you are reading about important species, animals in news, you must classify it as whether it is a mammal, it's a non-mammal, it's what is it? It's an amphibian or whatever it is. Is it cold-blooded, warm-blooded, and where is it usually found? All right. One more thing we must see is the question wanted us to talk about the montane grasslands. So where are these montane grasslands and what are their types? What are the examples? So this we must also see. So let's talk about the montane grasslands. So montane grasslands means mountainous grasslands. There has to be a mountain close by. All right. So they are marked by tall, dense grass and few trees. That means trees are less and grass is more. That's why they are known as grasslands. So they are found in different mountainous areas of country. So where there are mountains, let's say. We have earlier talked about mountains also already. In a separate lecture, I have covered 2 lectures for that. Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, Central Indian Mountains, Aravalli Ranges, and the Himalayan Mountains. These we have not covered. We will cover them soon in another lecture. All right. So the grassland ecosystem is based on the altitude of the mountain, soil, rock type, etc. So these can be further classified as Himalayan, tropical and temperate grassland. Himalayan, tropical and temperate grasslands. Then there is alpine meadows, trans-Himalayan steppes, which are found in the mountain slopes of Himalayas in Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, this side basically, trans-Himalayas. And the Marg grassland of Kashmir, Bugyal grassland of Uttarakhand, Khajjar grassland of Himachal Pradesh, Zoku valley of Uttarakhand, Ukhural grasslands of Manipur, Saramati grasslands of Nagaland are some example of mountain grasslands in India. So these are some examples of the temperate grasslands. One of are of central India. Let's talk about the central Indians one. The Vindhyan, Satpura, Amarkantak range one. So western eastern Ghats also covered in this. So they are marked by dry but tall grass. They can be called tropical savannas. Tropical savannas. So grasslands on the Ghats are marked by short length grasses. For example, the Shola grassland of Karnataka. Shola grassland of Karnataka. One famous mountain we saw here was Baba Budan Hills. All right. Okay. Tropical savannas are also found in some part of Rajasthan in the Thar Desert. Tropical savanna. So very similar to African climate, divided by the Tethys Sea earlier from the African plate. All right. Sahara Desert and Thar Desert. So it was an extension of the Sahara Desert earlier. So there is always a geographical region behind whatever is happening in the environment also. All right. So this was the final learning for this lecture. Let us now see the question and the solution and the elimination technique also. That how we could have done this question without knowledge. So only in 8 to 10% of the questions this may or may not work. So solution of the question, let's see. The first statement, it told us that marsupials are not naturally found in India. So let's apply some common sense here. One of the marsupials which we have seen is kangaroo, very famous one. Everybody can associate kangaroo with Australia. It's fairly common in cricket, you can see. All right, and we know that kangaroos are not found in India. So we can ascertain that the first statement must be incorrect. All right. Let's talk about the second statement. What is the second statement? Sorry, the first statement must be correct because they are not found in India. All right, second statement, it says that they are only able to thrive in montane grasslands without predators. So it is used only here. I'll show you the question. We'll do it on the question front. Just a second. So here's the question. Okay. So marsupials are not naturally, that means they can be introduced but naturally they are not found in India. So this option is correct as per our common sense and common knowledge. So marsupials can thrive only. Only is an extreme statement. In mountain grasslands. Mountain grasslands. Must be some mountainous area, unlike Australia. With no predators. This has given the third clue also, that there must be no predators. Only then they will survive. So can this be true? That can a food chain such exist that there are no predators and only then can they grow? Alright, so this is not true. Kangaroos are, yes, primary consumers. They are mostly herbivores. But it is not true that without the predator, only then they will be able to survive. Okay, so this statement is very extreme and hence incorrect. So this eliminates many options. That is, statement second is correct. No. Statement second is correct. No. Statement second is not the correct explanation. Statement second are correct. No. So only one option remains. The answer is C. But as per our knowledge also, the answer is C only. That marsupials are, yes, they are not found in India and can thrive only in the mountain grasslands with no predators. No, there is no such condition that any animal can thrive only in such and such condition where no predators should be there. So predators are a forming part of the food chain, and without predators there will be many-fold increment in the size of the primary consumers. So they will grow out of, let's say, abundant heaps, and they will grow out of the carrying capacity of the earth, that specific portion. Alright, so such and such is not any condition for the survival of any of the species in the world. Alright, so this was the answer for this question. Just a second, we'll get down back to the last slide. So please take care, please take note of the questions. UPSC has asked 2 questions this year from these topics. Alright, so please take care of these topics. This is Yatharth here. I hope you learned from this lecture. So keep studying, be bright, and have a very good day ahead.